Our first training cycle for the 2022 competitive CrossFit season just started. For more information and to join, head to trainingthinktank.com.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just my least favorite person to interview, so
yeah.
put it off for a long time.
It was just like the bottom of the list. Like, he looks around, no one else at the gym. Oh. All right.
That's Hold on. Before opposite. We were filming, you were talking about people. There's some science behind why people don't like listening to their own voice. What were you saying?
I'm not going to try and recreate the science, but there's a reason that so Brynn hopped on here and she's hearing her own voice through the headphones for the first time. And I remember having that experience the first time and just being disgusted by the sound of my own voice. And it's why I hate these headphones and I don't like listening to myself on YouTube. That the reason is something like when you talk to somebody just in person, you're not necessarily listening to the sound waves themselves that come out of your mouth. It's like the way that it resonates through your jawbone and the way that it works its way down into your, the nervous signals into your brain. It's different than when it comes in through your ears. And so when you hear it through your ears, it's
brutal.
It's off-putting.
Yeah.
It's off-putting because it's not what you expected and it's different than what you expected. And for me, it's awful. I hate it. I hate the sound of it.
It's like when you think you sound good singing and you record it and play it back.
Well, I do sound good singing. I mean,
I do not.
There's no pretending about that. I am awesome at singing.
I'm not good. I tried to sing on one of the throwdowns and they wouldn't let me.
Why?
You tried to sing what?
Yeah, I just tried to sing. On one of the throwdowns I did a couple of months ago, I asked you and Mac, should I sing? And Mac,
oh yeah.
And it was like, no.
Yeah.
You're going to sing during the throwdown?
Like before.
Oh.
I was like, do you want a song?
Are you a karaokeer?
Yeah.
You are? What's your go-to?
The Vanessa Carlton song, 1,000 Miles.
Doodly doodly doo. That one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my
That's
go-to.
a good one.
Thank you.
It's a good one. You have a
Mine's
good Vanessa
Mariah
Carlton
Carey and
voice
Boyz II Men.
Thank you.
I think I'd go
Boyz
with
II Men.
You know the collab?
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith.
Which song?
The Armageddon song.
Oh.
How does it go?
Don't want to miss a thing, man. I'm not going to just belt it out here because people got to pay to hear this voice. This is beautiful.
We could just change. This is
Can
karaoke
Can you hit the ending crescendo? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Of course I can hit No. I can't hit it like that.
That was good.
No, that was okay. You should hear my Mariah Carey.
Go for it.
Yeah.
No, we'll save it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe one night. Maybe we'll go. The three of us will go karaoke.
Okay.
We'll do Vanessa
I'll
Carlton.
We'll do all our
Mariah
songs.
Carey, and then Aerosmith.
I had a friend
good.
do karaoke, and she did "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," and
Wait,
she committed. She went all the way through.
The Dick Cheese one or the
No. Well, now I feel like if you're just gonna say Dick Cheese on the podcast, you got to explain yourself.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You do it.
So Google Richard Cheese. We're not being vulgar here. It's a real thing.
It's not vulgar to say somebody's name is Dick.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's just a little random.
Just somebody's name. Yeah, I'm nothing if not random. Brynn.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're especially cheerful today. And
I'm happy to be back.
Is that why?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you over caffeinated after travel yesterday.
No, maybe. I bought a new maybe.
I realized the reality of my happiness. It's artificial and it's drug induced.
That's what it is. I have a new coffee mug and it's like a 20-ounce mug.
Is that bigger than usual?
Yeah, I usually a normal mug's like 12 ounces, right?
It seems small to me.
Oh, I usually do a 12 ounce
Show
mug.
it with your hands. How big is the 20 ounce? It's that tall too? That is big.
Yeah. And
so
so
you
I
still
had
have the
one
same
cup
number?
of coffee.
Okay,
but
so
it was
just
like a mega cup of coffee. I didn't realize it till just now.
But you have a pretty high tolerance for caffeine anyways. We've talked before about how much you actually drink in the course of a day.
Yeah. Good
Which
enough.
is?
How much?
I
Do you
don't
know milligrams? How much it would
Just
be?
ballpark it.
No, maybe 2 cups in the morning, pre-workout, and then pre-workout in the afternoon.
Are you taking a pre-workout or are you drinking coffee again?
I take a pre-workout.
Aha.
Does that have caffeine in it?
I think a little, yeah.
And beta-alanine and all that tingly stuff?
Yeah, and creatine and beta.
What time do you go to sleep? Because if you do that throughout the day and you do one before your PM session?
I go to sleep at 11-ish.
Okay.
11, wake up around 7:30.
Yeah. Okay. Is it good quality still?
Sleep?
Yeah. If I took pre-workout at 3 p.m., I would be awake until 2 a.m. and then sleep like crap. Is he giving you pointers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making big arm
Yeah,
gestures.
get nice and close on that mic.
No, I sleep well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's been a long time coming just to try and get you on here. I think that as we try and introduce you to the audience and everybody else, I feel like I'm also going to learn a lot of new things about you. How long have we been working together? 2.5 years?
Yeah, almost, I think 3 years in February.
Close to 3 years. Yeah. I remember meeting you in Miami
Oh yeah.
with Chris.
Yeah.
And it was a really strange introduction, but I'm still very glad that it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I feel like every time that we talk and we sit down and have a conversation, I learn something new about you. And then it happened again on Instagram the other day. You said that you minored in art?
Oh yeah, art history.
Art history?
Yeah.
How the heck did that happen?
Well, I majored in art and design. I have
Okay.
a Bachelor of Fine Arts.
I feel like I knew that, but isn't like what's different about art history?
It's just, I guess, more the history.
Don't tell me, like, why wouldn't you learn about the history if you're majoring in
It's
art?
part of, like, I guess you have to take art history classes as part of the major.
Okay.
But it was just I was taking so many extra classes that I had enough extra art history classes to get a minor.
I see.
Dang, there's more than one art history class?
There's like every kind of, like there's so many.
So different kinds of arts have different
histories and there's different
timelines
like
associated
requirements. Like I had to take like Islamic art to hit a requirement, like American art, Impressionism.
with them. Holy cow.
Like there's all different.
What's your personal favorite?
I like Impressionism and like contemporary art.
Do you have a favorite artist? Classical?
Yes, Robert Rauschenberg.
Dang old Robert Rauschenberg.
Yeah,
huh?
printmaker. My original my mom was in illustration and printmaking.
Okay.
So for college, when I had to create a portfolio to apply for college, I spent a summer in Rhode Island. I have Rhode Island School of Design doing printmaking.
Nice.
So with using like the big machine, like I'd etch onto like plastic and glass and I would print on that.
What's the big machine?
It's like a big
it's called
printing
a printmaking
press.
machine?
Yeah, it's a printmaking machine, like
Okay.
a big printing press, and you'd roll it through.
My gosh. Like, was that scary to learn how to use the first time?
No, not
Okay.
too bad.
When I hear big machine, I get scared and intimidated.
Oh no, it's not like you press. You have to like operate it yourself.
Okay.
It's not like a garbage disposal. It just like turns on automatically. You have to actually like turn this to get it to go.
I see. So mom was the reason that you got into art and art history?
Yes.
How did she get into it?
I guess she's been doing it her whole life.
Yeah.
So she also, when she went to Carnegie Mellon and then she went to RISD for 3 years after that.
Okay.
And she had her own printmaking, commercial
What's the
printing
movie that
company.
talks about RISD? Is that Wedding Crashers?
Is it?
Where like
I don't know.
the asshole brother, he's like all about RISD or something. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, that sounds
Continue.
about right. No, not Wedding Crashers. Who's the asshole brothers? That Step Brothers?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it could also be the
both
guy in Wedding
assholes,
Crashers.
the two brothers? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not just one.
One of those.
Maybe Wedding Crashers.
I don't think he's talking crap about RISD though. I think he's speaking very highly of it.
Okay.
Just to make
It's fine.
sure.
I didn't go there.
We don't want to
No
insult your mom.
offense to me. Yeah.
Well, your mom's going to come down here and visit, isn't
She's
she?
going to listen to this podcast.
She's going to listen to this
She's a
podcast and she's
subscriber.
coming down to visit.
Yeah, she'll be back.
So you've listened to all the podcasts, right?
I'm a little behind this past month.
You're kidding
But
me.
before this month, I listened to them right when they come out.
I couldn't be more disappointed to hear
Yeah,
you're behind.
but I'm like a couple behind.
I thought that you would listen to all of them.
I used to
You
until
have a whole routine, huh?
my routine got all messed up when I was traveling.
What's the podcast routine? And I know that it
Well, I
includes
listen
sauna,
to,
but
I
that's about
usually,
it.
well, either I listen to them in the sauna or I walk for like an hour and a half every night.
Gotcha.
And that's when I listen to podcasts.
Be honest. Has there been one that you just said, screw this and turned off? Come on.
Never.
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 Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's your favorite one then?
Well, I like all the ones you're on.
Don't do that to me. Then he's going to want to have me on here more often.
Yeah, yours are
I
good.
already tried that.
And I like when Becky comes on and talks about nutrition.
Everybody likes Becky.
Yeah.
We got to have Becky on here more
Yeah,
often.
everyone
That's
likes-
the real answer to
Yeah.
the problem. Yep.
There you go. Just
So,
push it off on her.
No, I mean, oh man, what's the poop fart question that we used to ask all the other athletes?
Oh.
Did you think about that when you listened to
I forgot. That's been
KB and
so long
Alexis?
ago.
Oh, that was months ago.
I think it was like, would you rather
have
fart and it smell
An
or
awful fart, or would you rather poop your pants but nobody knows
like, but
about
no
it?
one knows?
Did you think about that when you heard it?
No, I didn't
you
like
did, 'cause
spend
I remember
too much.
talking to you about it.
Oh,
You
really?
had an answer, yeah.
You sure that was me?
I know.
I don't think that was me.
Well,
All
go
right.
ahead.
Well, now we're putting you on the spot.
I guess the smelly fart one.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm
I
trying
am
to shit my
not.
pants.
Because that's like, doesn't sound great. I don't know.
I mean, even if you had baby wipes
Yeah.
available?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Oh,
All right. Man, I'd rather suffer in private.
suffering.
But that's just me. I'm very insecure. Well, tell us something else that we don't know about you. So the art history was one thing that I didn't know.
Uh-huh.
Now I know that you would rather not poop yourself.
Yes.
What's your middle name?
Rachel.
Rachel?
Yeah.
I like that name.
Thank you.
Is it possible that Brynn is short for anything?
No.
Can it be?
Brinson.
I told someone once it was like, I think I was in elementary school or middle school. I was at.
Did you want it to be?
No, she said that she would give me like $10 if I told her my full name. I was like, I just made one up.
I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, I feel like Brynn could be like, what did you say, Brinson? I was thinking like Brinderella or
like
Brinnifer.
Brinnifer. Yeah.
Brinston.
Brinston.
Yeah, you can go that way.
Brinnington.
If you have a daughter, I don't know what your family planning on.
Hold on.
Would you
Can I
name her after
backtrack?
yourself?
No, I wouldn't.
No?
I name her after a grandparent. I think that's the rules.
Okay. Did Brynn come from a grandparent?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would pass its way down that way?
Yeah. What's up?
Can I backtrack? You said y'all met in Miami. Where were y'all doing? Wadapalooza, I'm guessing? Or
Yeah, she was supposed to do a team there, right? And then the team backed out on you?
No, I was on a team. I joined a team last minute. Like I didn't do the qualifier. And I think it was my first time working out in a couple of months. I tore my quad that October.
Mm-hmm.
And then another girl like from my area like asked if I'd like do her team because one of the girls dropped out.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. Because my sister lived in Miami anyway, and I happened to have been going that week. So I just extended my trip for the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did we meet? What was the introduction?
We talked about wall balls and rowing.
Yeah. The introduction was I was training Chris, your coach, right? And so you were training under him at the time. So he was coaching you, programming for you, and doing nutrition too at that time, right?
Yes.
We came down there and it was like he and I had talked about you before. Like he had questions about like some of your open scores and like thinking about your performance and like how to get the best out of you. Mm-hmm. And then it was that weekend where he introduced us, and it was basically like, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't on the conversations on your guys' side, but it was basically like, not that you had outgrown him, but it was like the time spent there was very valuable and you're ready to step on to the next thing. And I feel like it is a natural step in a lot of coaching processes. You and I have been together for 2.5 years. I don't think that we're stagnating yet. I think that you're still getting better, but I do think that getting a new perspective on things every now and then is very valuable. So talk a little bit about like the time that you spent with Chris, like what the transition was like coming over to somebody else and like being remote, like I'm sure it was different, like working with Chris in person and then all of a sudden having me miles and miles away trying to program for you over the computer. What was that like?
It was definitely a difference at first. Yeah. Well, when I started with Chris, I guess it was 2016.
Okay.
Like I couldn't.
Was that your entry into CrossFit too?
I started CrossFit 2014.
Okay.
And then 2016, I wanted to like be more competitive. Like I couldn't do double unders yet. I couldn't do strict pull-ups. I couldn't do chest. Like I couldn't do anything yet.
So from 2014 to 2016, you were at his gym?
I was taking classes.
Classes? Okay.
Yeah.
So he could see potential.
Yeah.
He could see potential and there's little pieces missing. So in 2016, you're ready to take the next step. What did that look like?
And do more individual programming. So I kind of stopped taking classes and I did all like individualized programming with him. Before that, I was working full-time at Lululemon. So I'd work all day and then I'd go to the gym, take class at night, wait around, and then take like the Olympic lifting class after.
Okay.
And I did that for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And there was a group at our gym, like in like the competitors program. And I wanted to like be able to like keep up with them and work out with them. So I like reached out to Chris because he had a competitors blog and he programmed for the competitor athletes at the gym.
Okay.
But I couldn't do like all the movements yet. Like I couldn't do muscle ups with them. Like I jump in with them and I do banded pull ups when they were doing like ring muscle ups.
Yeah. So there was like an individual on-ramping process for you to get you to their level.
Yeah. Gotcha. And I just wanted to do extra work to be able to kind of catch up to everyone.
Gotcha.
Because at that time, Chris was also competing at regionals still.
Right.
Well, 2014, I think was his last year at regionals. And I went and like everyone in the gym would go and watch him. And I watched him that year and that kind of inspired me also. Even like it was a couple of years later. Mm-hmm. So I started working with him spring 2016 and we did like macros, nutrition. Like I just revamped everything.
You went all in.
I like left Lululemon at that time and to get my yoga teacher certification full time.
Okay.
Which I think took 4 months. So I would do like my yoga teacher certification class in the morning and then I'd go do my programming after that.
Gotcha. Yeah. So if I wanted to become a yoga teacher, it would only take me 4 months?
Or shorter. It's 200 hours. I know they do like a 200 hour like intensive program. You can even do shorter or you can do over a longer amount of time depending on program.
Yeah. 200 hours. Probably take me 12 months.
Yeah, it could. There's no time frame. Yeah.
If you had to choose one path for your future, would it be yoga or CrossFit?
Oh, that's a tough question.
I'm putting you on the spot again.
How long have you been doing yoga?
I've been practicing yoga for over 10 years.
And you teach it currently?
I've been teaching for 6 years. 6 years since 2016. Yeah.
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah. But you enjoy it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And it's helpful that it pays the bills while you can still do some CrossFit.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that at some point at the rate of growth right now, like your Instagram is going to get to the point where you might be able to pay the bills with CrossFit too. What's it been like trying to build up your Instagram?
It's been fun. I love it.
I can't believe how different it is now, or like how much more professional it is now. I mean, Chris is always trying to get you to be a little bit more
trying
to include you in some of the TTT stuff. But like, was that a learning process for you as well? Like, I'm assume that it wasn't completely natural, like to be able to put yourself out there like that. But what was that like trying to build that side of things up? Because I think that you've done an amazing job with it. I did
like a bunch of research. Like, so I guess it started during quarantine because like I couldn't go into the gym. So I was just home doing my workouts and teaching, like all virtual training. So I had a little more time because I didn't have to commute anywhere. And I started looking into like how to grow like your Instagram online. And I built a YouTube channel. So I have like 25 videos up on my YouTube channel of different flows.
Those are mostly yoga?
They're all yoga, yeah. So it's 25 flows ranging from like 5 to 25 minutes. So I started posting on my Instagram to direct people to my YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
Because I want to like post with a purpose. I don't like just putting stuff out there. I like to have meaning behind things. Yeah.
Okay.
Bring value to people as opposed to just like.
So you're creating YouTube content and the Instagram build sort of started to try and push people in that direction. But now I feel like it's starting to take on its own form, right? So it just kind of grew naturally from that.
After that, yeah. So that kind of started it because it got me into it. And then I started just building it within itself and not using the YouTube channel, even though it's still there.
Gotcha. You don't post on YouTube anymore?
Not anymore. I kind of lost, once I moved here, it stopped. Because it was over the summer. My sister would help me film everything.
Oh,
and so she's in Miami and like we had like the basement set up and she'd film it.
Do you have a studio?
In the studio. Well, my basement is like my studio gym. That's why if you notice my videos, all those plants.
It's multi-purpose.
Yeah, I don't just put plants next to my bar.
Well, there was plants hanging down from one of the pull-up bars one time, I think.
I had to do my pull-ups, ring muscle ups outside on a tree.
Yeah, I remember thinking, that looks pretty.
Yeah.
So now you do the live every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they're saved on your.
They're all on my IGTV page. Yeah. I haven't done them this month because I've been traveling.
Does it feel awkward when you're like talking to nobody? You know, like people are watching.
I'm so used to it.
Essentially, just talking to yourself.
Because that's how I teach my clients also, like my private yoga, and I also do personal training as well online. Yeah. So I have a bunch of clients where I just like talk to them.
Everything is virtual for you now.
Yeah, everything I do is virtual.
Do you think it's going to stay that way, or would you prefer to go back to in person if you could?
I mean, I love in person, but I also like virtual. Yeah,
like virtual has so many benefits to it. Being able to do it from anywhere,
not being like set somewhere. I like being able to like move around.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Nice. No, I feel like talking a little bit about your athletic background, I wanted to make sure that we talked about yoga and everything else, but like, why did you get into CrossFit? What was it that you did in the past that sort of led you in that direction? And then start to tell me a little bit more about what keeps you in CrossFit, because you've been doing it for a long time. You are continuing to get better. And I'd like to think that there's still plenty of room for growth coming in the future, but like, take us back. Like, what did you do growing up? I know that you said that you played a little bit of soccer, but other than that, my memory fails me. So what was the athletic background like for Brynn?
I guess I've always just been athletic, like into sports, and all my siblings also, like we all did sports and dance and like every possible extracurricular activity.
Encouraged by the parents in the sports?
Yeah, I don't know how my parents or my mom brought us to everything.
Well, how many siblings do you have?
I have 3 younger siblings.
Okay.
And we're all within 5 years of each other.
Okay. So the whole family was athletic, played a lot of different sports. What was your favorite?
It used to be soccer, and then in middle school I found lacrosse, and lacrosse was my favorite sport.
Are you that violent?
Violent? I guess so.
She said she was like the Dennis Rodman of lacrosse.
What does that mean? You got rebounds? I don't get it.
I played defense.
Were you crazy?
No, I'd play defense. So like I would like take the charge or get the ball back, and I would just like sprint up the field with the ball and then pass it off to the offense.
You knew your role.
That was my job.
You fill your role.
And I did it well.
Well, in lacrosse, the defenders can't go past a certain point, right?
Someone would stay back. So
you literally couldn't.
You can like communicate with people. Yeah.
I see.
Or like if you're a D wing, you can run, like one of the D wings I think can run all the way up and down the field.
Oh.
And as long as the other one stays back.
I don't know all these rules. One of my best friends in high school was a lacrosse player, and I went to like one of his games and just was blown away by the violence of it because I'm used to playing soccer.
Well, men's lacrosse is way more violent.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was something else.
You can body check people.
Yeah, it was brutal. And he would have like all these bruises on his arms from getting sticked and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh gosh. No,
and women's lacrosse, you can just like check the sticks. You can't like actually check.
You can't hit the person.
You can't hit the person.
It's not is it a foul in men's lacrosse to hit the person though?
I think you can hit the person in men's.
Because it seemed like everybody was doing it.
Yeah, I think you can I think you can actually hit people.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's why they wear helmets. And
how long did you play lacrosse for?
I played lacrosse 7th grade till senior year of high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was going to play in college and then decided not to.
Why?
And I decided to like have a college life instead.
Lacrosse would have impeded that?
Yeah. It was just, I don't know. It was such a big school. I went to University of Michigan.
Okay.
And I remember like when I visited Michigan, I met with the lacrosse coach and I was planning to play.
Oh, okay.
And it was like before the first practice and it was like a 20-minute bus ride at 10 o'clock at night to get to practice. I was like, I can't do this.
I want to hear a little bit more about the college life that you were trying to protect.
Yeah, it was just, well, as an art major, art is a lot of hours of the day. Like one class is 3 hours long, even though it's just like the equivalent credits of like just a regular class.
What?
It just takes up so much.
How is that a thing?
It just takes up so much time.
Why?
Because you're actually doing art?
You're doing art. Like freshman year, you have to do
the history
everything.
classes.
No, the history classes are like normal credits. So, but your studio classes are just 3 hours long.
But you don't get credit for the 3 hours.
You don't get it's like a normal amount of credit for a 3-hour class.
I would not have known that. So you knew going in that it was going to be like that it was going to be very time intensive for you. And so you knew that the extracurriculars couldn't really be there. And
I chose kind of class work and like a social life over playing sports versus like my whole life before that. Like I would have put sports first, like before school even.
Gotcha.
Like if I were tired, I would like skip classes and nap before my game. But like I couldn't do that in college.
Why Michigan?
Because I wanted a university experience that had like a good art program.
Okay.
But I could also take classes outside of art. So my like extra class, I took astronomy, I took psychology. Like you had to take classes in like the main school, like I think it's called LSA, like the main program.
Okay.
As elective classes, and you didn't just have to take art classes. So I thought that was fun.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so you dropped lacrosse to be able to focus on school and a social life. Was it successful?
I think so. Yes.
No regrets?
No regrets is what it is. Yeah.
What athletically did you do during college?
I would just freshman and sophomore year and junior year, I would just go to the gym and I'd run.
Okay.
I also in high school, I ran cross country and track.
I thought there was a cross country background in there.
I ran but mostly like as conditioning for lacrosse, just to keep me.
Gotcha. It wasn't like a standalone thing.
No, yeah. I was captain of my cross country team.
What?
Humble brag.
Yeah.
No big deal. What was your best 5K?
I don't even remember. I have to. You can probably look it up online. I'm sure.
You think it was faster than what you can do now?
I think I can run faster now than I could.
I would be willing to bet that you can probably run faster
I remember
now.
there was one point like a couple years ago where like I remembered what my 5K was and I ran one. I was like, that's faster than cross country.
Nice.
Back in the day.
That's a nice little improvement.
Yeah.
All right. So we finished up college. What was next?
After college, I started doing just freelance art over the summer. Like I did graphic design, photography. Like
Can we see some of your work?
I really want to.
Yeah,
I really want to.
Us, or, we're going to see your stuff and be like, why didn't you let us know?
I used to have a website, but it became my yoga website. Like you used to, my domain's my name, BrynnKurlan.com. And it used to be like my portfolio.
But do you have stuff archived on there that we could go look at?
No, it's a whole new website. I just made it my yoga personal trainer website. But I probably have my portfolios on a disk somewhere.
Do you still do it every now and then? Do you still dabble? Like, is it fun for you?
No, I haven't done it in a while. I used to sketch. Like sketching is my favorite thing, like just pencil sketching.
You know what we should do is when we change the animal next year from the octopus, we should have you sketch what the new animal's design is going to look like on the shirt.
We can try, see if I can still do it.
You know how to draw an anteater? Because that's what I'm pitching.
An anteater?
You're the anteater.
Can you draw an anteater?
I mean, what does it look like?
It's like that big nose.
Like a giant ant?
No, it's like the thing,
Oh, I know what it is. It's like a
ants.
wombat with a big nose.
Sure. I don't know what a wombat looks like, but I'll go with it because you said big nose.
Yeah, I think I know. It's a wombat.
All right. So you freelanced for a while doing some art?
So over the summer, I freelanced for a trainer. Like I used to go to Equinox in my town.
What's Equinox?
Oh, they don't have Equinox in Georgia.
They're the ones that have like the
It's like a
ads
gym.
that are all just like people
Yeah.
completely naked or like
Yeah.
having sex, but then it's like Equinox.
They
Legit.
like changed their, it's just like a gym.
Okay.
So I worked with a personal trainer there like over that summer, and I used to like go back and see him because when I was in like growing up, my mom would have us go to the gym with her
Okay.
and do like balance work and like leg stability work with a trainer because everyone kept tearing their ACLs in soccer. So that's probably why like
Your mom was ahead of the game.
I was gonna say we need to get
My
your mom on the
gosh.
podcast.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Very nice.
it's probably why, like when I started CrossFit, the one thing I can do that was like cool was pistols. Like I could do pistols on my first day.
Your pistols are like cheating. They're faster than anybody else's air squats.
It's good because I've been doing pistols since like middle school.
Did you
Like,
really do pistols? Like they didn't call them that back then though.
I didn't know they were called pistols, but I used to do pistols. I remember like practicing them like in my mirror in my room. Like my trainer showed me them and I used to do them like every night.
Oh gosh.
And I didn't know what they were.
It
And
all makes sense now. I thought you were so good at them just because your quads are so big, but it's like
well,
you've been doing them
I've
your
been
whole life.
doing pistols for years,
Oh,
like for
man.
no reason. Well, for a reason to like help with like my leg strength.
Yeah.
But my mom had like me and all my sisters do extra work to like protect our knees from injury.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So working at Equinox, well, you were with a
So I
trainer
was
there.
freelancing for the trainer.
Gotcha.
And he started getting into yoga. His name was Jamie Harris. He did Budokan yoga.
Shout out Jamie.
Shout out Jamie. Hello, Jamie. So he did like Budokan yoga, which is like a martial arts version of yoga.
What does that mean?
You could
So like the
search it.
poses are a little bit more like,
it's
Fight
flowy
stances?
like yoga, but it
Okay.
also mixes in animal movements as well.
oh, cool.
So that's the type of yoga he focused on and had a group, and I would go and like photograph their workshops.
So
and
he started it after you guys had already started some of the freelance
after I've
together?
been seeing like doing freelance with him, that was just something he was into, and then
Yeah.
I started like creating like a business card for him, like photographing events.
Yeah.
He worked at a studio, and so I also would go to that studio and I would take like all different types of yoga classes, not just Budokan, but like just vinyasa as well.
Okay.
And he was an ambassador for Lululemon.
Okay.
So that's how I got
Gotcha.
into Lululemon.
Gotcha.
And I
Okay.
was working at Lululemon for about a year and a half, and part of my job for the store was going and taking photos once a week of different trainers around Westchester
Okay.
for their PN, which is like their product newsletter every week.
Yep.
And
those
so-
letters like them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Story checks out.
that equals yes. So after doing that for about a year and a half, I was like, like I can do that. Like, cause I was taking photos of yoga instructors.
Okay, so you're going to gyms, seeing the fitness instructors in there,
Taking
and
photos of
then
them.
you're starting to think, oh man, that might be something I might be interested in.
Yes.
Okay.
So then I left Lululemon to get my yoga certification. And somewhere in the middle of that, that's when I started doing CrossFit.
Okay.
Because part of working for Lululemon, they like make you try different
Right.
activities.
Yep.
I remember the first time going to CrossFit, I've never even heard of it. So this was like January 2014.
Okay.
And so like all my coworkers did CrossFit. They brought me there and like
I was going to say, like the Lululemon environment
Yeah.
or structure it seems to be very cohesive with CrossFit.
yeah, like they love CrossFit. I didn't
Okay.
know what it was. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I was doing Bikram yoga also at that time, which is like that hot yoga.
No, you need to define it for me. I don't know
okay.
what Bikram means.
So
I'm shaking my head like, yeah, Bikram. I have no idea.
So Bikram yoga, it's the rooms, all the classes are exactly the same.
Okay.
It's a 90-minute class, 26 poses. You hold each pose for a minute to 90 seconds each twice. And it's all focused
That's
on like hamstring and like back flexibility, basically.
But if you do a Bikram class, it looks the same every single day
Everywhere,
of the
yeah.
week, everywhere across the world.
Yes.
Oh,
And they're
interesting.
not all affiliated with Mr. Bikram, who has a lot of
Oh, it's a
controversy.
guy?
Oh, yeah. And
Oh,
You've
nice.
never seen the Bikram documentary?
Yeah,
No.
he's
Oh
not.
my
He did
God.
some not good things.
Oh, no.
But just because of what he did doesn't mean
And they
his
didn't try and
style-
strip his name away from it
I
afterwards?
think some studios did change their
I gotta
name.
imagine.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, man.
Yeah, they changed it.
Now I have a whole nother thing to dive into. Thanks
Yeah,
for,
there's
thanks
a
for this
whole-
rabbit hole. Golly.
But there's a whole Bikram world out there.
Okay. Interesting.
So Bikram, it's like I was very like skinny at the time because it's like 90 minutes of yoga in a heated room holding poses, and I would go every day.
Are you supposed to go every day to yoga?
Yeah, like the more you go, like the better it feels. Like you just get used to the heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
And
started
then-
CrossFit through the Lululemon thing.
Started CrossFit and I had to drop Bikram because it was too much to do CrossFit
Sure.
and Bikram. I
Yeah.
kept pulling my
I imagine
hamstrings.
in New York. Well, so you're talking about the physical
Like
stress.
physically, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I started doing power vinyasa, which is also heated yoga,
Okay.
but it's not as hot. So the room
Moderately heated yoga.
and vinyasa means to flow, just the type of yoga that I'm certified in, vinyasa.
Gotcha. Okay.
So each class is different depending on the instructor. There's the same like poses, but the teacher kind of choreographs them. That's how I would describe it.
I see.
So
and you liked having a little bit more freedom versus like the Bikram side of things where it's very structured?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So where the studio I taught at in Westchester when I lived there was Yoga Spark. And I made up there's like general rules, like including poses, like you need to have a peak pose. But I designed my own class. You can pick your music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that was a better complement to CrossFit.
Okay.
Because you're not holding anything for like 90 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were getting like muscle strains and stuff because of the overlap between the two?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because
I thought that.
Yeah, I would do I would max out on a back squat, and then I would go stretch like my hamstrings in like a heated room for 90 minutes. And
Well,
it was
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have been almost the other way. Like overdoing yoga would have led to like almost like more laxity, I guess, like, and just like less ability to create tension and strength. But it really was the other way around. It was actually like you were making the muscles weak by having them stretched for so long.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
All right.
Yeah.
So we switched over because you knew you wanted to keep CrossFit in?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you like about CrossFit?
I like the competitiveness of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Well, I guess I've always...
Is it the lacrosse player in you? Like you missed hitting people?
Yeah.
And now you just want to beat them in things?
Just like beat it. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like also like you enjoy a challenge too.
Mm-hmm.
I just knowing a little bit about you, like I feel like when you see something that you can't really do, you take it as a challenge and you don't really back away from it. And I enjoy that about you as an athlete. And I wasn't sure back then, like when you got introduced to CrossFit, like a lot of people like the shared suffering aspect, the community aspect, the competitive aspect. Like I think that draws in a lot of people naturally. But yeah, so you were drawn in by being able to beat somebody next to you. And that's a very primal thing that like, that keeps going. And then you saw the competitive class, the competitors class, and you're like, I want to get up there with them. And so that drove you to the next level. And so that's when you reached out to Chris, personal programming, nutrition, all of that, dove in all the way. Talk to me a little bit about the transition there. So worked with Chris so you started with him in 2016, a couple of years there. There was a couple of good runs at regionals.
Yeah. Like when I first started working with him, the goal was to qualify for regionals in 2019, like the realistic goal.
RIP regionals, but this is back when it was a thing.
Yeah. And then our regionals 2019 never happened.
Yep.
But regionals, 2018, I missed out on qualifying for regionals by 1 point on the leaderboard.
1 point.
1 point on the leaderboard.
Why didn't you just do better? What happened?
Right? It was like I went back through every workout. I was like, if I cleaned 1 more pound, if I did 1 more pull up in that last workout, like 1 more hang clean and jerk on that, it was like...
You're smiling now, but was it terrible back then?
Yeah.
Was it eating you alive?
I was also I couldn't work out. I wouldn't have been able to train for regionals. Like I hurt my back during, it was 18.4, the handstand walk deadlift workout.
Okay.
I did that. I couldn't handstand walk at the time really. And I hurt my back. I did that workout 3 times.
So that was
that weekend.
Handstand push-up deadlift and then handstand walk heavier deadlift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got pretty, it was a lot of deadlifts and bad. My handstand walking, I'm very scorpion. So imagine doing that without having really any core control. I was I'm scorpion now, but I feel like I have more control over it. Yeah. Versus when I couldn't really handstand walk, I was going 5 feet at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember after the 3rd time I did that workout, I couldn't get up. I really messed up my back.
You still had a week workout
and then there was 1 more workout to go.
What was the last one that year?
It was 3, 6, 9 thrusters chest to bar.
Okay.
So I couldn't work out that whole week, and then I did that workout. I did that workout twice. I did it Friday and then Monday. And then my I only had 1 pull-up better. It was all that work and I got 1 pull-up better.
That's such a heartbreaking experience. Yeah. Do that, redo all that intensity for 1 more rep.
Yeah. And I remember watching the leaderboard that night and I was like, oh, okay.
So then 2019 regionals was taken away.
Yeah.
But it was also at the start of 2019 when I met you, right?
Yeah.
So we were at Wadapalooza. Yeah. You were coming off the quad injury. You and Chris had decided, I think mutually, to try something new for you just to see where things would go.
Yeah.
So again, walk me through that a little bit, because I think that's a transition that is challenging for people to hire a remote individual coach, because it is a different process. And having been on both sides of it now, we worked remotely for year and a half, I guess close to 2 years before you got here, right? Before you got here. And then the change when you got here was another step in the right direction. So challenges of having a remote coach, I think from your perspective, but then also like what drew you to want to move here?
So I guess it was challenging at first because like we didn't like know each other as like a coach and athlete.
Yeah.
Versus you get used to like being with the same person. They can like, there's like set ways of doing everything. Like you can ask them, how should I break this up? And they like know you and they can tell you. Versus it took like some time to like figure that all out. I don't know. I thought the transition was pretty smooth. It was also just felt like getting back into it.
Yeah.
After taking time off.
Yeah. You were like starting back up. So it was almost like the ramp up process for you as an athlete was also a good timing for us to build our coach athlete relationship at the same time.
Cause I felt like I was starting over a little bit. Like, when we started together.
It was no joke to come back from what you did come back from. And I know that it's still like, I mean, the quad it's like one of the big major muscle movers inside of the sport, given like how much we squat. But you came back from it relatively quickly. And I do feel like we made a lot of progress pretty quickly as well. But it was 2020 when it was the sanctional year?
I think, 2020.
2020 was a sanctional year. So that process of being able to do a sport that you love, but also being able to travel around the world and compete in the sport that you love and have your family go along with it. Like, I feel like it helped you in a way, like it took a little bit of a weight off the shoulders from the near miss in 2018. You were able to qualify and move on to the next stage in the season, which is something that was your goal from the time that we started together. That was very, very powerful for me watching it as a coach from the outside. But I feel like for you, you've had a lot of many accomplishments over the years that we've worked together, but you stay hungry, right? You stay hungry and you always want more. So qualifying for sanctionals, it helped to banish the demons from that regional miss. Qualifying for semifinals from this year, like that was a big win for us. We didn't know what the quarterfinals was going to look like. We knew it was going to be tight, but to get you to the semifinals, that was a huge win for us. How do you stay hungry? How do you stay motivated? Like what's going to keep you going inside of CrossFit for the next couple of years?
I think just knowing, like setting challenge, like I set goals for myself. Like I don't like to compare myself to what everyone else is doing. And I like to stay realistic with my goals as well and keep them in the short term, like whether just like a year out. And I feel like, cause my family is also really into it now as well. Like everything I do is also like for them. Like I want to make them proud as well.
That's a powerful reason. I mean, I've seen them cheer you on. I felt like I was the, I remember at Granite Games sitting behind your mom and your sister and being like, that's just like the ideal support structure. And that's something that I would want all of my athletes to be able to have, because I feel like one of the challenges with ongoing motivation for a lot of athletes is having a why that exists outside of themselves. Like you want to challenge yourself.
Yes.
You want to set goals that are personal, that are realistic, that are going to keep you motivated inside of the gym. But sometimes it's just like you get in there and it's like, man, I just don't feel like it today. I don't want to dig deep today. But having something like that, having family, having people that you want to make proud, having somebody that you want to prove wrong. Like even Travis says that all the time, like having people that he wants to prove wrong or remember my freaking name for one time.
Yeah, right.
It's a really powerful thing. But the competitive side, I feel like you also, you improved so much when we got you here and we kind of threw you in the fire with that semifinal prep group. What was that like for you? Was it intimidating?
I've never had anything like that before.
I know that the training back then with Chris was good. Like you guys pushed each other every now and then, but coming down here and literally like getting your butt handed to you day in and day out in the gym. It's something that I feel like a lot of people, they would have stopped. They would have said, this isn't for me, but you didn't do that. There were certainly times and challenges where it was upsetting and frustrating, but walk us through like how you handled that. How did you get the most out of that time? Because you improved so much from being around everybody that was in there.
Because that's why I moved here. That's why I came here. Because before that, I trained alone, like how long I've been training for? Like 4 or 5 years, literally alone in a basement.
The other problem before that was it was like New York's quarantine was like one of the strictest quarantines in the country. And so you're in your basement, in your backyard sometime. You can't really do running loops or anything else. Like you had a good setup equipment wise.
No, it was fun. Like, and even before that, when I was at CrossFit Westchester training, I was the only one training and like I couldn't train while classes were going on. So there were 90% of the time I was the only one like in the gym.
Yeah.
And so
at least you get to play your own music.
Yeah, I loved it. Like it was never like, oh, I don't feel like it. Like no one's here. Like I was always into it. Like it's fun, but I know I needed to get used to training and being with other people.
Yeah.
Cause even when I came for like the first camp I came to here, I think in February, like it was almost distracting that there's people. I remember like saying there's like, I was distracted by like people doing stuff next to me.
Yeah.
Cause I just wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times you remind me like just to lean into it. So that's something I kept in mind while we were doing semifinals training also, like get used to like what's going on, get used to the distractions, like acknowledging it's there and just like pushing through it.
Yeah. I remember thinking it was like two opposite ends of the training spectrum. By yourself in a basement gym, trying to figure out how to keep yourself motivated and drive progressions and drive intensity. And then coming here and hopping in with a group who's half games athletes, half semifinals athletes. It's like, holy shit, what's happening right now? But I thought that you handled it beautifully. And I was really happy to see that you also made the most of it from a result standpoint. Like seeing you qualify for semifinals was probably one of the best experiences I had from the past season. After semifinals, one of the things that we took away from Minnesota was still the idea of trying to make you a better game day competitor. Yeah. So being able to lean in, not just when there's people around you pushing real hard, but when the external pressure is high. Like you might not be completely certain of your ability to hit a snatch or do that fifth ring muscle up unbroken or be able to hold on to that handstand walk. Areas like that were something that we highlighted for you. And one of the things that we did to try and address that was the weightlifting. It was fun
summer project.
It was an interesting summer project, but you can walk us through that a little bit more because I feel like it kind of like took on extra energy from your end. I was like, after semifinals, we sat down. I was like, Brynn, this is what I saw. This is what I want to work on. I think maybe doing a weightlifting meet kind of informally might have a lot of value for you. And you're like, yeah, okay. And then the next thing I knew, you were cutting weight.
Yeah,
and
like,
then
let's make this
Adam, take all my CrossFit out. I wanted to do weightlifting. So talk to me a little bit about it. So obviously you enjoyed it, but how did it go? What'd you get out of it? Is it useful going forward?
Yeah, so it was fun. It was inspired from how the Granite Games went. And like, I learned that sometimes change and like being uncomfortable is not something that I do well with. So I wanted to make training for this weightlifting meet as uncomfortable as possible. So like my normal weight, like I usually weigh like around 60 kilograms. So there's a 59 class and there's a 64 class. So I could have just like kept everything as was and competed 64. But I was like, let's make sure I weigh 59 and qualify for nationals at the 59 weight class.
But then you also messed the numbers up, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I cut more than I had to.
Yeah, you cut more than you had to.
Yeah, so every time I lifted in kilos the past year, I have no idea how much I've really been lifting.
It was actually more.
I don't know how to convert it.
You've got PRs that don't count.
Yeah, I realized the night before the meet that I like was way underweight and I was totally fine. So,
but weightlifting meet, how was it? Was it scary?
It was scary, but once I like did what I needed to do, then it got more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you needed to do was the snatch, right?
Yeah. So
it was basically like that first snatch, a lot of pressure on it. The second snatch, pressure on it for a different reason, right? Like now this number matters a little bit more. But the feeling of isolating you on a platform, all the eyes in the room are just focused on you. The music goes silent, everything else. You stepping up and again, taking that next step in terms of the pressure and leaning into that and leaning into the anxiety, insecurity, doubts, fears, whatever it was. Again, it's just another step in the right direction for you. So to see that growth and development, I think has been really, really cool. And it makes me more excited to see what's going to come in the future. So weightlifting went well. We qualified for nationals. Are you going to go to Vegas and do nationals? Are we doing this?
I could. It's not until end of June.
I know. I was in Vegas in June and it's not the best place to be in June.
But like, if I happen to do West Coast next year, Chris, I could just stay there for June.
Dude, you'd walk out and it felt like you were in a drying machine.
It felt like you were walking into a blow dryer. It was so crazy. But listen, if we have to go to Vegas, I'll go to Vegas. I just can't stay at that casino again.
Okay, stay somewhere else.
Cigarette smoke lived in my brain for like a week after that.
Yeah.
Like I could just smell it.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Vegas since I was 10, and my only memory is the M&M factory.
I didn't know there was an M&M factory in Vegas.
It might not still be there, but there was one when I was there, and they had samples and an M&M ride.
We'll have to
So I had a great time.
You have a really good memory.
That's all I remember.
20 years ago, and you remembered an M&M ride?
You were 20. What year did you go to Vegas?
I was 10. So, well, easy math. So what's 21 minus 20? 2001, I was in Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
I was there in 2003. I was like, what if we were there at the same time?
Maybe.
No, maybe. You were there earlier than me.
Okay. So no, we missed each other by 2 years.
Too bad.
Too bad.
You would have had more fun if you had seen Chris
Yeah,
there.
if we only ran into each other, could have come on the M&M ride.
Who did you meet in Vegas?
Won a competition to meet Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.
The wrestler. but he was retired at that point. So instead of walking him to the ring, which was for Halloween Havoc, which was the contest that I signed up for on a pop-up ad in the early days of the internet, we ended up, he got hurt by Bret Hart. Fuck you, Bret. I mean, fuck you. Sorry. Never mind. Anyway, but I didn't get to walk him to the ring. And instead I got to meet him at a NASCAR race. So
probably
beat
more
that M&M factory.
Yeah. I think that he does have you there, honestly. I don't know how good the M&M
I also,
ride was.
I have a second.
Was
I
it a
wanted
good ride?
Charmander. There was isn't there a
still have
carnival hotel? Of course. I have every stuffed animal I've ever owned.
Are they mostly Pokemon or is it just?
No, the whole mix.
Oh, nice.
Polar bear. I have a lot
You
of polar
won
bear.
a Charmander in Vegas?
Yeah, there's one of the hotels. It's like the Carnival Hotel. There's a carnival somewhere. And I won a Charmander.
Was it a game that you were playing?
Yeah.
What game was it?
I threw like a beanbag into a basket.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Have you played spike ball with us?
No, I'm nervous about it.
I don't think, yeah.
Everyone tells me that I don't seem like I'd be good at like backyard sports.
That's not nice of them to say.
Yeah.
I think you'd be great at backyard sports.
I sprained my ankle playing volleyball in my backyard a couple summers ago.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah.
Precedent is not in your favor right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've had a lot of injuries in spike ball, but I don't think there's been any ankle breaks yet.
Yeah, just a sprain. But once you sprain your ankle more than once, it heals quicker.
Oh, I was just going to say it happens more often too, but
Yeah, I think
maybe you just get better. You get better at hurting yourself and healing yourself.
Yeah, you get better at wrapping it.
All right, so we transitioned out of the weightlifting meet.
Yes.
Getting back into CrossFit. Has it been fun breathing again?
Oh, it is. It's
Probably
fun.
one of the only athletes I have who enjoys burpees and thrusters.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
love burpees and thrusters.
All right, you have to pick one of those burpees or thrusters.
Well, I guess thrusters. If I had to pick one movement, thrusters.
What weight?
Like
5-minute AMRAP thrusters is the first open workout. What would you program it at to try and win in the world?
65 pounds.
65? Would you put it down in 5 minutes?
I think so.
Put it on your back for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there was one time it was like we did like 75 thrusters for time.
Yeah.
I don't think I put it. I don't know if that's a lot.
I mean, it seems like a lot. 75
But I wonder
seems
how
like
long
a lot.
that took. I don't know.
But it's also like when you compare light thrusters to wall balls, like we do Karen 150 wall balls for time in 5 minutes.
Thrusters, I like more. Wall balls, you have to hit a target. So like, it's like height sensitive. Whereas like thrusters, you don't have to throw it above your arms reached.
Yeah, there's a series of movements that I would say challenge you, right? Ring muscle ups is probably one of them. Snatches is probably one of them. But wall balls, how good you are at thrusters is completely negated by how much of a challenge the wall balls are. And I would not have expected it. But like you said,
the target.
it's the height thing.
That's why people think I'm not good at backyard sports.
Why?
It's like a coordination thing again. There we go.
Yeah, there's an accuracy thing,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, no, we'll keep working on it.
We're working on it. Yeah.
We'll work on it. I think that what we should do is we should have you do some wall balls with the slam ball.
Maybe.
Yeah, you just have to hold it a little bit tighter.
Throw the slam ball at the wall.
At the target, yeah.
At the target.
Yeah, and then you have to worry about not getting hit in the face with that thing.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Aren't you just so excited for training?
Yeah, I
Getting
can't
back
wait.
into CrossFit. And we've even got a competition planned for this weekend.
Oh, maybe. We'll see depends how this week goes.
The reintroduction is so great. Just jumping right back into the deep
Just go right
end.
back into it, full force.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
All right. So you've been down in Georgia for how long?
Since last December.
How long are you staying for?
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely?
Yeah.
Is it because of the state or is it because of Chris?
It's everything.
Everything.
It's the Whole Foods. Just here for the Whole Foods.
You don't have any of those next to you in Westchester?
Oh, no, we do. But I love the one here.
Oh, okay.
All the Whole Foods have a different atmosphere, like a different vibe.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that by design?
Yeah. That probably has something to do with it.
That's interesting.
Like
I wouldn't
this
have thought
one.
that.
I feel like
Doesn't
you
that
just
seem
walk
like
in and you could just
something that
taste
would
all
just-
your money evaporating.
No, it's not even like I could just walk through Whole Foods and walk through the aisles and buy one thing and be really happy.
See, I'm the opposite. I feel that way about going into a Target though. You're such a basic white girl.
I feel that way about going into Dick's. But Dick's is also dangerous for me.
Like shopping wise?
Yeah. He's immature. Don't worry about him. I could go in there and I could buy that's
Buy
like
a
a
lot,
Lululemon
yeah.
for me. Like I could go in there like any aisle and just like,
They're always
yeah.
out of stock. I've tried to buy shoes from them.
You go online?
No,
You go there in person?
I go there.
Mm.
And then there was one time I went there and the guy took me like 4 different computer screens and like tried to order them and nothing had internet.
Is this when you were
She's
going through your
shitting on your
cleats?
dicks, dude.
Yeah, when I bought my cleats.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, good thing I have cleats.
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
I need a new pair of cleats. We just played soccer over the weekend
Well, you should
and
go
it
to
was
Dick's,
raining
yeah.
and mine have a hole in the toes.
Oh.
Yeah, it was extra wet. Yep. So you're in Georgia.
You're staying, huh?
You're here for the long run.
Yeah, I'm staying
We
here.
won you over.
Yeah.
Is your family okay with it?
Yeah, they like me here. And
Yeah?
they like me there. They'd rather me home, of course, but they're happy that I'm happy
When
here.
are they coming to visit?
Soon.
I got promises from both of your parents in Minnesota that they were coming to visit.
Yeah, the flight from here to New York, it took like less than 2 hours to get home. Like I texted my dad, like landed. He was like, "Huh, like you're that close." Like, didn't know that.
Yeah.
But the drive is 14 hours.
When we get them here, are we going to get them on the podcast?
You should.
What are the chances?
They would do it.
Yeah.
Be nervous, but they do it.
I would be so interested to interview your dad. I feel
Yeah.
like I talked to him a little bit during
I don't
some
know
of
if
the
you get
events.
much out of him.
I could get everything out
How
of
long
him.
do you do the sauna? Going back to another topic.
The infrared sauna, like
Is that what you do? I don't know.
45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Yeah.
So what's infrared versus just the
Like a
regular
steam sauna, it's much hotter.
one?
So you
Infrared's
can't
hotter?
last.
No, steam sauna's hotter.
Oh.
I
You
You
can't
don't
last
do
this-
steam as long.
No, I can only last like 15, 20 minutes.
45 minutes and you're just chilling in there watching podcasts?
Listening to podcasts, yeah.
What's another podcast besides Corpus Animus?
I listen to the RP podcast. It's like the nutrition one.
Yeah.
Hold on. 45 minutes, how many days a week?
Well, I haven't been all this month because I haven't been there,
But
but
I mean, when
usually,
you were on your shit,
like 5-6 days a week.
6 days a week?
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah. The steam sauna, I can only do 15. My dad can stay in the steam sauna for like an hour.
How long has he been doing that? His whole life?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is it like sitting in that sauna and trying to take your little thirsty photo for your Instagram page?
It's not very
I mean,
difficult.
how long does that take?
I'm
Is that
a pro.
like 20
How many-
minutes of
That's
your
just
45?
like-
How many takes?
Oh,
How many
it
pictures?
depends on the day.
Do you ever feel like, man, this is just the same photo every time?
No, they're all different. That's where my artistic background comes into play.
Mhm.
I use it on selfies now.
Hell yeah.
If only my drawing
How
teacher
quick has
saw
your
me now.
selfie game got?
How
How much improved have you been now that you're like a Instagrammer?
I think I'm pretty good. Again, depends on the lighting.
The average picture that we see as the audience, how many takes did it get to that one?
It again totally depends. Sometimes like
And are you
20.
a picture person or are you a
20?
video person? Take a screenshot.
no, I
person?
I do like a self timer.
Ah,
Does the quality go down if it's a screenshot?
Yeah.
So if I'm
Yeah.
doing a video and I'm like doing my smiles and everything,
Yeah.
and then I grab I grab
Even
one of those.
if you film a video like on the selfie mode, it's lower quality than as
Yeah.
if you were to flip it the other way.
it's just because of the front facing camera.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was because it was coming from a video, like a frame out of a video versus the portrait itself.
I guess both.
Yeah.
Like if you screenshot of it, yeah.
what's the number one piece of advice for people trying to up their Instagram game with selfies?
Post every day.
Post every day. What if you don't have a face for selfies? Like, I don't think I'd get away with that.
Yeah, me either.
You can if you want.
You would be a great
Then,
motivational speaker.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. just do it often.
You can if you
Is
want.
that really it though? It's just practice and getting used to it. I
Yeah.
feel like the hardest thing for me, I mean, I'm not an artist like you, but it would just be getting past the uncomfortableness of putting myself out there often.
That's you have to just get past. You can't take anything like personally. Like you want it to reflect
there we
you,
go.
but you also can't like if you like you're gonna spend probably like 100 times longer looking at it and judging it than anyone else would.
Yeah.
And if anyone else is spending that much time looking at it and judging it, then that's like great for your engagement. And like that's probably like no one. Like
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
that's like just deep life advice right there too.
yeah. Like no
Don't
one's
take
gonna-
anything personally.
Yeah, no
That's right
one's
out of the
gonna-
4 agreements. Have you read that?
No, I should.
Ah.
I've seen it. I know what the cover looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know where I've seen it.
Killed it.
Target.
Target. Probably.
I've seen it in Target.
Super Target.
Excellent
Super Target's
advice.
great.
Dude, super Targets are the shit.
I
Yeah.
go there to get steps when it's raining.
They're really
Yeah.
like they're just going to completely phase out regular Target at this point.
They should.
And then do you keep calling it super because it's the only one left?
yeah.
You do?
What makes it a
Yeah.
super though? Like,
It's well
just
the
bigger?
old
Like,
ones didn't.
What is not included?
Back in the day, they didn't used to have all the groceries.
Oh yeah, groceries.
Mm-hmm.
But groceries have like been a staple now for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, has it really been 10
I
years?
just feel like there's more space between the aisles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to that one in Madison and it had like a different layout. It
Mm.
almost like had like a kiosk in the aisles. Like, you know, you go to a
Oh.
mall and you're walking down the hallway of like a traditional mall and they have like those little pop-up stands for like vendors. It seemed like they had that, but in Target.
They also had a whole liquor aisle too in the Target.
Yeah, I heard they're putting bars in Target.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you heard that too?
They're supposed to be serving wine in there now.
Yeah, like
I mean, how
a
else?
wine bar.
Golly, they're just going to make so much money.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like imagine people drinking wine and walking through Target. Like
Well,
That's
if you're trying to
exactly
pick
what
up
they
Yeah.
cougars,
imagined.
That's the spot.
that's what they were thinking, I guess.
No, gosh.
They figured it out. It's how do you,
All right. Parting advice for our audience. The first one was don't take anything personally.
The
yes,
second
else?
was you can do it.
you can do it.
No, say it like you said it before, though. You can do it.
You can do it.
There we go. What else?
Be a tiger, not a kitten.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One more.
Okay.
Why are dogs better than cats?
They have floppier ears.
Do they?
I guess not all dogs.
Not all dogs.
Oh, my dog. And your dog.
How's Chester doing? Do you miss him?
Oh, he's wonderful. He's great.
Yeah.
He's
Was that
16.
the hardest part about leaving
Yeah.
and coming back here?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
even when we like left for the day, I was like, I just want to get home to Chester. He's 16. Oh, over 16.
He's 16, eats better than your dad.
He
It's one of the
eats
things
healthier.
that I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He eats better than anyone like listening to this podcast.
Eats nicer than anyone in terms of like the food that your mom makes for him.
Yeah, and like just quality, like ground beef, sweet potato, and zucchini chopped up into
There's a
little
reason this dog is 16 and
Yeah.
going strong. He eats pretty well.
and water's measured for him.
Yeah.
Like
No, he's
living
well
the
loved.
life. Yeah.
He's well loved. All
Yeah.
right. Be a tiger, not a kitten.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Brynn, Rachel?
Yes.
Nice.
Cool.
Brynn Rachel Kurlan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.